The anime begins by showing Kazushige Sanda, our protagonist, in a state of extreme nervousness. Fuyumura, or Fuyu as everyone calls her, was on top of him, brandishing a knife threateningly. He desperately dodged, pleading for her to stop. But Fuyu remained agitated, giving no explanation, as if completely unhinged. The situation seemed out of control until a classmate arrived, finally calming Fuyu. For a few seconds, everyone acted as if nothing had happened. But before leaving, Fuyu issued a warning. By the end of the day, she planned to send Sanda directly to Gadido. As classes went on, Sanda couldn't get Fuyu out of his mind. He began questioning his own feelings, wondering if this was a strange way of liking someone after all. They were both in puberty. He even considered that this could be the best day of his life, though he still wasn't sure of his emotions. A classmate tried to make him see things more rationally, but Sanda insisted he understood Fuyu. He believed she was shy and that there was nothing to fear. The classmate, however, remained skeptical. The atmosphere grew even more complicated because, apparently, a friend of Fuyu's had recently died. Still, Sanda thought this was reason to support her more, not to fear. The scene then shifts to the sports class. Sanda and his friend talked calmly, commenting on the harsh winter cold and how they used to celebrate Christmas, a tradition that now seemed lost. Suddenly, snow began to fall, surprising everyone, as no one had ever seen anything like it. Sanda's heart started to ache intensely and inexplicably, but he quickly associated the feeling with the destiny that seemed to connect his life to Fuyu's. Later, the meeting to select class representatives took place. The atmosphere was tense, but Fuyu, curious, asked Sanda why he was so kind to her, even after she had tried to separate him. She even asked if he was Santa Claus's cousin and commented on his refusal to wear the school's red sweatshirt. Sanda was completely lost, not understanding anything. But Fuyu continued, mentioning a curse. She said that December 25th could break it, but with a condition. He had to wear something red. She forced Sanda to comply, even though he found it absurd. Fuyu explained firmly that Christmas and everything around it were silly legends, and that Sanda was being kind because, in reality, he had always liked her. She remained in a trance, determined to complete her mission, even if it meant hurting him. This was the crucial point for Sanda to try to break the curse. In the midst of this, Fuyu revealed that her friend Ono had not died. She had only been captured. Her obsession with Christmas and Santa Claus came from that incident. She returned from the trance and demanded that Sanda become Santa Claus or die, believing that fulfilling all the conditions would make him a descendant of the Santa Claus family and bring Ono back. The scene remained intensely cold. Sanda was still unconscious, seemingly hopeless about seeing Ono again. At the last moment, an explosion sent Fuyu flying, and Sanda began to awaken, transforming into Santa Claus. He was angry, not understanding how Fuyu knew all of that. She explained she was a girl and asked for his help to find Ono. Sanda instinctively felt he had to help her. It was Santa Claus's instinct guiding his actions. In a new scene, Sanda was in the bathroom, trying to process what had happened when Fuyu knocked on the door, warning that the school had been evacuated due to the explosion and that the police had arrived. He hesitated, complaining that he should return to his 14-year-old form or he would face problems. Fuyu calmed him, assuring that he would return to his original form. The focus was now on finding Ono. Sanda grabbed his stress relief gummies and discovered that eating them allowed him to return to his boy form while keeping all the powers and instincts of Santa Claus. The next day, during class, Sanda admitted to Fuyu that he didn't know if she would be useful in finding Ono, as he didn't fully understand the extent of his powers and feared disappointing her. Fortunately, Fuyu had a plan. There was a bomb in the classroom, and she wanted Sanda to use his powers or evacuate everyone. He became irritated, asking why she would do such a thing. But Fuyu insisted she wanted to test the true Santa Claus. Sanda tried to warn the students, but no one moved, claiming they didn't want to interrupt the test. He began searching the classroom desperately, unsure of what to do. After thinking, his face turned red, and he transformed into the old Santa Claus, threatening that everyone leave or face serious consequences. The teacher guided the evacuation, but a student observed the scene from the window. She congratulated Sanda, surprised that he had managed it. and revealed that the bomb was attached to his body, confirming that he always spoke seriously. Sanda explained that he had followed Santa Claus's instinct and had succeeded in helping Fuyu. Both opened up a little, determined to bring Ono back. But the bomb reached its final seconds and exploded. Fuyu saw that Sanda had managed to contain the fire and destruction. She discovered 3 of Santa Claus's abilities. The color red stimulates him, the gummies transform him into a boy, and he is immune to fire. Smiling, Fuyu realized she could now rely on him. On a new day, Fuyu visited Sanda's dorm, bringing gummies to maintain his boy form. The classmates questioned the reason for the visit, and Sanda replied that it didn't matter. They all played together on the way to dinner. During the meal, a teacher reminded a colleague that Santa Claus had not delivered the assignment, and Sanda, guided by instinct, wanted to help the children. A friend confronted Sanda, asking where the immature, funny Sanda was, making him realize that he was increasingly taking on the role of Santa Claus. Later, in his room, a colleague commented on the embarrassment during dinner, explaining that everyone wanted to remain children. Sanda thanked him for understanding, but the colleague revealed that he knew Sanda's secret identity and teased him, saying he would put him to bed. In the final scene, Sanda woke up again in the classroom that had exploded earlier, tied up, and Fuyu was also there. The colleague, named Amiya, was surprised, confirming that the legend of Santa Claus was true. Santa Claus truly exists, and at that moment, he also reveals that he was the person who stayed behind when everyone left the classroom on the day of the explosion. He begins speaking, full of anger, saying that he wants to kill him, that he doesn't need anything from him, and according to the law, it wouldn't even be considered a crime. The tension rises until, after some debate, Amiya intervenes unexpectedly. She says that if Sanda and Fuyu kiss, she will let them go. Sanda hesitates, not wanting to give in, but Amiya insists and is direct. Sanda, kiss me properly, tongue and all. He feels frustrated with the insistence, knowing that Fuyu is a girl and that he shouldn't cross that boundary. Fuyu's irritation grows, and she orders him to do what Amiya asked, explaining that she prefers that over breaking the promise to rescue Ono. Amiya reinforces that if they do not obey, she won't let them go. But this pressure awakens something inside Sanda. His Santa Claus instinct manifests, and he realizes that there are cruel and ill-intentioned children in the world. This triggers a new ability, causing knives to grow on his hands, ready to defend and attack if necessary. Just when it seems the situation might escalate further, a teacher appears, asking Amiya, "What is he doing here alone?" He notices that Fuyu and Sanda have escaped, and the scene becomes even tenser. The school principal, who had already given a strange impression ever since Amiya mentioned he was 92 years old due to suspicious injections, appears. Sanda explains that the principal is somewhat eccentric, has an aversion to adults, and is an unyielding defender of the students, ensuring their safety. Amiya refuses to cooperate and shows aggression, further irritating the principal. He declares himself intolerant of liars and traumatizing people and decides to take Amiya to the basement, a place that until now had only been a rumor, but which Sanda and Fuyu had heard about. While the principal takes Amiya away, Sanda launches himself against the wall, breaking it and pleading to be left alone. He even uses his leg as a blade, showing his determination, but the principal does not falter. She is focused solely on her duty to protect the children. Sanda then moves his knives, destabilizing the principal for a moment. He responds that he is irritated with older people like him, but Sanda counters, saying he is as old as her, perhaps even older, and proposes a test. If the principal cannot remember what she ate in the last 3 days, she is not qualified to run the school. As expected, she does not remember. Once they leave the danger zone, Fuyu grabs Amiya by the head and scolds him for his actions. She is furious, but Amiya merely replies that he is fulfilling a mission. Fuyu does not believe him and threatens to throw him off the 2nd floor. But he insists it is true. His mission is to bring Santa Claus back so that his family, who sells cakes, can resume their business. This thought makes Sanda reflect. A world without Christmas is sad. And at that moment, only Fuyu and Amiya seem to believe in the magic of Christmas. Despite Fuyu still having doubts, Sanda manages to convince her and gets her to agree to leave him alone. Then, the three share their gummies, symbolizing trust and unity. They decide that everything that happened will remain a secret. No one else can know. In a scene change, the academy principal appears, calling various people who are specifically searching for Santa Claus. He coordinates actions to activate the Santa Claus capture unit, making it clear that the situation is far from over. The tension rises, and everyone involved prepares for the next challenges.